Hello and welcome to the first video of Day 1 Part 1 of Beginning App and 2D Game Development, UWGB's first ever computer science LOOC. That stands for Local Open Online Course. This is a free course being offered to you fully online other than an on-site campus visit day that will be conducted in April. Today, my name is Ben Geisler. I'm going to be giving you a tour, sort of introducing you to myself as well as giving you a quick tour of the syllabus and how the course will be structured. So this is me, Ben Geisler. I come to you having worked at a number of video game development studios over my career. This is my Moby Games page, for example. This is kind of a clearinghouse of all the games that everyone's ever worked on. It's kind of the IMDb, if you will, of the video game field. You can see my title credits on Batman Arkham Origins, for example, and Quake 4, and so on and so forth. This is probably half of the games I've worked on. Some of them don't actually make it onto this list. So anyway, that is me, and enough about me. Your other instructor is Dr. Peter Bresnay. He's actually the chair of the computer science department here at UWGB, and he'll be assisting me and helping with the course content as well as giving some of the video lectures. So to start things off, I would suggest going to www.uwgb.edu/compsci. That's a very easy URL to remember, so just try to remember that one. From there, you can click on Local Open Online Course. This brings up the Beginning App and 2D Game Development page, which is probably where you registered. Probably should have been where you registered. And from here, you can actually go down and click on the login link. It should be a green button down here that you click on. And from here, this is our Desire to Learn launch page, which basically is our course software environment where we will be getting all of our content. So you should click non-UWGB account log on and log on with the information that we sent you for your D2L logon information. Once you log on, you should get something like this. You will want to go down to your course. You should only have one course listed. I have a number of them since I'm teaching as well at UWGB. You'll want to click on Beginning App and Game Development. So this is the home page on D2L for Beginning App and Game Development. You can see we don't have much content posted. I'm creating this video a full 2-3 weeks before, well, I guess about 2 weeks before the course actually starts. So we haven't posted all the material yet. The page you see when you log on is going to look a little different than this, and there'll be a number of news and updates and things like that. Important things to note about this page is we've got a content section. That's where all the documents will go. We've got a discussion section where your group discussions will be taking place, as well as you will be posting your reports and projects. Mostly we'll be posting your projects for things that you've finished, and your peers will be grading them all via the discussion board. Also, there is a Dropbox where you will be handing in assignments. There's a quizzes link where you'll be taking your online quizzes. There's grades, class list, email. If you do need to get in touch with me, an easy way to do it is just click on class list, and you can go down here and it'll just pop up a little email dialog that you can email me at. Another way to get a hold of me is Skype. I would encourage you to use Skype because it's a very fast way to get a hold of me. My contact name is Ben Geisler, all one word. That's BenGeisler, and you can get a hold of me there. So let's get started looking at the structure of this course. So if we go to the content page, I've actually posted a syllabus that we can take a look at. The syllabus shows us exactly what's going on in the course. Basically, it's a 12-week long course. As I said, it's a free course. You'll be spending about 4 to 12 hours per week on it. We do recommend a basic background in algebra and logic. High school algebra should be sufficient, or if not, then perhaps middle school algebra should be sufficient as well. We'll be doing peer grading, which I'm going to spend some time talking about here today, and we also have automated quiz grades. Now, if you do pass the course, you get credit for Computer Science 201 here at UWGB, so there's some motivation to keep track of your grades and see how you're doing and stay on time with your assignments and that kind of thing. This is a 100% online course that's going to be offered via D2L. There will be an on-campus visit day, either April 24th or the 26th. You should choose one of those days to come to, optionally if you would like to visit campus. That will be a great day to get help from us. We will also be giving some instruction. Of course, that instruction will be duplicated online for those that cannot make it. The course catalog description is beginning app and game development taught using various programming languages tools such as C# and Java, the Android SDK, and Eclipse. This is going to be offered as a LOOC, so it's free. And what we will be doing in the course from the game perspective is we'll be learning how to draw all entities in the game world. We'll be learning how to update the game world based on user input. We'll learn simple physics. We'll learn music and sound effects. And then from the app side of things, we'll be using the Android SDK to be able to deploy our applications that we've created using Eclipse onto the devices. And for that, we will be doing some simple business apps, GPS apps, and if we get time for it, social networked apps. Our objectives here are to be able to understand XNA Game Studio and be able to implement simple 2D games. Also, it's very important for all game designers, game developers to understand things like game balance, the ethics of creating video games, as well as sort of what goes into making a good game, the psychology of fun, if you will. So we're going to talk about those things a little bit. This is mostly a development course that will teach you how to create games, but it's also important to understand more of the philosophical background of games. We'll talk about that for a week or two. And additionally, another objective is being able to understand the basics of programming, especially in Java and C#. We'll start with C#, do some basic syntax in there, and then when we get into apps, we'll move into Java. By the end of the course, you should be able to implement some simple gameplay logic and application logic. As I mentioned, this will give you credit for CS 201, which waves you straight into Computer Science 256, which is Software Design 1. Now, as far as the grading goes, this is a large course. There's 250 people in it, and you're going to be broken up into teams of about 4 people each. Those actual teams will be your groups throughout the semester, throughout the course, that is, and you will be grading each of your peers as well as they will be grading you. And the average total of the grades that you get from your peers will form about 50% of your grade. So it's very important. We will be going over some example projects so you can understand how to peer grade, how to effectively peer grade, and we will have an entire set of instructions on that. Here's a rubric that we will be using so that we can understand how to grade the design, how to grade the implementation and the documentation and that kind of thing. So we won't leave you in the dark here. We'll kind of help you along the way. It's very important in video games to be able to look at each other's work critically and talk about it. So this has kind of a dual purpose element to it. And the rest of the grading will be 50%. The other 50% will be quiz-based grading, which will be all given online. Now, for the projects and for the grading, we're going to employ the use of something named Teammates. Teammates is a system that allows you to enter in grades of your peers, and it coordinates those grades and reports those grades to us. There will be a group discussion board on D2L that'll be up here under the discussion section. Actually, if I open this link up in the new tab, you can see my discussion sections. There'll be a group section, and all of your stuff will be visible there for your group, and that's where you will post your projects after you complete them. And as you complete them, your peers will be able to grade them. They will grade them using the system known as Teammates. We're going to have some links to Teammates on D2L, and I can show you what that looks like. Now, Teammates Teammates is teammatesv4.appspot.com. That's another URL you should remember, should bookmark it. We will be creating links to that from D2L so that's easy to get to. In order to log into this, you're going to need to get a login from us. We will be sending you a logon for this and let you know that your Teammates account has been created. However, the first thing you'll need to do is create a Google account. Teammates requires you to have a Google account. If you do not already have a Google account, it's very easy to make one. I can show you very quickly here. You just go to google.com. I actually need to sign out so I can. This is when you go to a fresh google.com, this is what you would look at. You can go to sign in, you click the sign in button, and you go down to create account, and then you enter your desired username, your password, all of that stuff. You will get an email account. Now once you get that email account, come back to the D2L page, and if you could go to the content section under General, there's going to be a Gmail registration tab. This is where you should place your first name, last name, and your Gmail address. After you do that, you will be sent a Teammates login, which can get you into the Teammates site. If this all seems a little too complex, don't worry. We will be going over this during the mini project so that you guys can get a sense for how to grade each other's projects. So that is how that is all going to work. The next topic to talk about, the projects themselves, are going to be basically we're going to create a simple game that's going to be kind of a tutorial-based game. Then we're going to create our own version of a game that you get to put your own creativity into and kind of design. And then as far as the apps section go, we are going to be creating just a simple sandbox type app that you'll be able to take with you after the course is over. The individual game apps and executables will be posted in that discussion space on D2L. I'll explain how to do that in subsequent videos. As far as the schedule, we're going to start out with some fun stuff. We're going to start out with XNA Studio Setup with Visual Studio Express 2012. Actually, the next video goes over that. Video part 2 goes over that of week 1. So you'll be able to learn how to install XNA and get the code base up and running. You will also create a Hello World app in part 3, and that's the meat of Unit 1. I will also start going over kind of an introduction to game development in Unit 1. That's not listed here, but that's going to be in video number 5, and there's a total of 5 videos for Unit 1, each being under 15 minutes long. That's kind of what you can expect, 3 to 5 videos per unit, each somewhere under 15 minutes long. So in Unit 2 we will have C# basics, we'll have variables and conditions, and also an introduction to the mini project. In the mini project you're going to be basically doing some very simple C# exercises. It's basically meant to be just an introduction to how you submit things to teammates and how you can get peer graded. It's not going to be very tricky at all, just basic setup, and that is going to be due at the end of Unit 3, after which point we will have gone through some basics of classes, methods, and namespaces. Unit 4, we get a little bit philosophical here. We go into the theory of game design, including how to create good game objectives, how to create good game design. I've been given permission by one of my former studios, Radical Entertainment, the creators of Prototype, and Hulk Ultimate Destruction, and a number of other hit games, to actually show you some examples of real-life game design documentation. So we're going to be using what the pros use, and we're going to talk about how games are documented, how games are designed, and then we're going to give an introduction to Game Project 1. Game Project 1 is all about the ship that you started in Unit 1, and the player setup, and actually being able to drive around the world, or fly around the world rather, and that's due at the end of Unit 5. We're going to also give you an introduction in Unit 6 to Game Project 2, which is your custom 2D game, and for that we have 2 units covering various topics related to Project 2. And right in the middle of here is when you will be able to come to campus and visit us, so you'll be able to get a chance to get help on your custom apps, or custom games rather, because this will probably be one of the most challenging parts of the course, is to get Game Project 2 done. From there we'll move on to apps, which includes a basic Eclipse setup and Java differences from C# and how to compile and run, how to deploy to device down here, as well as make a Hello World app, and then you'll turn in your app project number 1. We're also going to cover some GPS-based apps in Unit 12 and do an introduction to that project 2, which is then due Unit 12. So there's quite a bit of content here, as you can tell. We're estimating 4 to 12 hours per week. This is a wide range, but it kind of depends on your skill level, how much time it will take you. Get what you can done, and try to keep up as best as you can. New content will be posted every Wednesday, and due dates for your projects will be every Tuesday night. So the Tuesday, 11:59 p.m., right before the start of Wednesday morning, your homework for that particular week is due. I can tell you right now which weeks those are. That would be week 3 for the mini project, week 5 for Game Project 1, week 8 for Unit 8, and then Unit 10, week 11, Unit 12, and those are basically the ones that you will be submitting to teammates and to the online discussion board. There will also be quizzes throughout the course that come at the end of each unit, so it'll be important to keep up with those as well. Some units may not have a quiz, but most units will. So that is, in a nutshell, the course. If you have any questions, please email myself or Peter Bresnay. We are more than willing to help. And stay tuned for the next video. Part 2 goes into the basic setup of XNA Game Studio. Bye.